Hello students, today in this video we are going to discuss about autotrophic mode of nutrition. In our earlier video we discussed about that what are the different mode of nutrition. We categorize them broadly into two parts, that is autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So today in this video we are going to discuss about what is autotrophic mode of nutrition, and in detail we are going to discuss it, and we are going to see that who do this autotrophic mode of nutrition and how they do this. So let's see autotrophic mode of nutrition. As we know that autotrophic, auto means here self. So the organism who prepare or who synthesize their organic matter, they are not dependent on any other organism. They synthesize by themselves the organic matter. Those that organism are known as autotrophic. They shows the autotrophic mode of nutrition. So here autotrophic mode of nutrition is divided into two different categories, that is photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. So photoautotrophs, the organism who synthesize their organic matter in the presence of light. Photo means light. So light is sunlight. So the organism who prepare or synthesize their organic matter in the presence of light, they are known as photoautotrophs. Chemoautotrophs, they use chemical compounds to synthesize their organic matter, like they use hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, methane. So they use different type of chemical compounds to synthesize their organic food. So here we are going to discuss here about the photoautotrophs. So photoautotrophs, the organism, basically the green plants shows, that is the green plants. Green plants shows photoautotrophic mode of nutrition. These green plants do the process called photosynthesis. They do the process photosynthesis. So here they do the process photosynthesis for manufacturing or synthesis of their organic matter. So that process, this process known as photosynthesis, and they use light. They are here, photo means light. Again here we are seeing that there is a light. So this green plant doing process of photosynthesis in the presence of light. For this process, the green plants required some raw material. So these green plants required some raw material. So let's see what are the raw materials they required. First, they required sunlight, because it is a photo-driven process, photo-driven reaction, so they need sunlight. Then they required carbon dioxide, they required water, and they required chlorophyll pigment. So let's see from where these raw materials the plants get. Sunlight, it is a natural source, and this chlorophyll pigment, it helps in the capturing of sunlight. It helps in the capturing of sunlight. So this chlorophyll pigment, so where this chlorophyll pigment is present? This chlorophyll pigment is found in the leaf of the cell. So let's take this leaf, and these leaf contain a cell organelle. We know that the plant cell contain plastid. They contain plastid. Plastid, a cell organelle in which there is a presence of chloroplast. And this chloroplast contain this chlorophyll pigment. That's why the leaf is also known as the kitchen of the plant, where the basic organic food materials are synthesized, and that process called photosynthesis. Now we understood that from where this chlorophyll pigment is comes. This from plastid cells. The plastid contain chloroplast, and these chloroplast cell contain chlorophyll pigment in the thylakoids. So when you study about the chloroplast structure, you found a coin-like structure, and each coin-like structure called thylakoids, and they contain chlorophyll pigment. So we understood this thing. Now second one is the carbon dioxide. We know that in our atmosphere there is a carbon dioxide is present. So this carbon dioxide is taken by the leaf through the pore. A pore, and this pore is called stomata. Stomata is a plural form, stoma is a singular form. So if there is a lots of pore is there, then we called it stomata, and if there is a single pore is there, then we call it stoma. So this CO2 is taken by this stomata. And how this stomata looks like? So let's take the leaf, and the leaf contains small pores, and let's take how this pore looks like. This pore look like in this form. This is the open one. This you are able to see that this is the open one, and this one is your closed one. This is the closed pore, and this pore contain guard cell. They are surrounded by guard cell. These are the guard cell. Basically, the opening and closing of a stomata depends upon guard cells. These guard cells helps to retain the water content in the plants, and they helps in the transpiration. So these guard cells basically these opening and closing of a stomata depends upon these guard cells. So here we understood that what is the things required, and last one is left, that is water, very important. And from where the water the plants get? The water they get from soil through the xylem. We know that the transportation of the water takes place through the xylem. So water is taken through the soil. Now we have done with all the raw materials what are required for the photosynthesis, and then these all things are put together. These all things are put together, and they do the process called photosynthesis, where 6CO2 plus 6H2O in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So we know that chlorophyll helps in the capturing of light, sunlight, and they produce C6H12O6 plus O2. So here 6C6H12O6 is the glucose, that is glucose. Now we have to understand one more thing, that plants do they synthesize glucose. Plants basically, so let's write first. Plants basically synthesize glucose. Plants synthesize glucose. Plants synthesize glucose, but that will be transported to the different parts of the plant, transported to different parts of plant through, they are converted, glucose is converted into sucrose. So plants basically synthesize glucose, but they transport this glucose in the form of sucrose. And why this sucrose? Both are carbohydrate, a form of carbohydrate. So basically this sucrose are the type of carbohydrate which is more stable than the glucose. They don't show any type of reaction with the other organic or other chemicals. So basically glucose converted into sucrose, and then from sucrose they are stored. Whatever the things they need, the cells required, they take that, they utilize that particular food for their own activity, and whatever the things, whatever the organic matter left, they stored in the form of starch. So we know that glucose is transferred in the form of sucrose and stored in the form of starch. So whatever you eat, the potatoes, these potatoes is what? They are the stored form of stored starch is there. So this is the way, in this way the plant utilize their organic matter. Now we have done about this photoautotrophs, and one thing is very important about the organism, the plants who live in the arid region, arid, or in the desert region. They show some special type of adaptation. They show a different type of adaptation because in the daytime stomata are closed, because they, due to the very arid condition, they require to they have to conserve water in the body. So on the daytime the stomata are closed. So from where they get the carbon dioxide, and if the carbon dioxide they will not get, then how they do the process of photosynthesis. So basically these desert plants show us different type of adaptation. So what they do when at the night, when there is a little bit, not a very sunny day, very sun is very arid day is there. At night what they do, they the stomata at the night they opens, and then they take the carbon dioxide, and they take the at night the stomatas get open, and then they take the carbon dioxide from the surroundings, and they keep they make a intermediate product. And when the day occurs, when the sunlight comes, so that intermediate product, with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll, they do the process of photosynthesis. So basically these desert plants having different adaptation, they because the stomata is not open in the daytime, so they take the carbon dioxide at night, and they produce some intermediate product. And when the sunlight comes, so then in the presence of that sunlight and that intermediate product, the carbon fixation is there, they do the process of photosynthesis and they produce the organic matter for them. They shows that process is called CAM, CAM, that is Chrysleasian acid metabolism. Chrysleasian acid metabolism. When you go in the higher classes, you will study about this process. So this is all about that how the photoautotrophs do their work. Same as in the chemoautotrophs, what the chemoautotrophs do? They use chemical compounds, and with the help of reactions, they utilize the energy that occurs due to the breakdown of the chemicals, and then they synthesize their food. So this is all about autotrophic mode of nutrition. Thank you.